भोलानाथ का ब्रश कटर एक बैटरी चालित मशीन है जिसका चार्जिंग समय 3.5 घंटे है। यह 6 से 8 घंटे के प्रभावशाली संचालन समय का दावा करता है, जिससे यह एक बार चार्ज करने पर 16,000 वर्ग फुट गेहूं या चावल के खेतों को कुशलतापूर्वक काट सकता है, जबकि इसका पेट्रोल समकक्ष व्यक्ति उसी कार्य के लिए 1,000 रुपए मूल्य का पेट्रोल खर्च करता है।
गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन, सभी को नमस्ते। वेलकम टू माय डॉक्टर्स डायलॉग सीरीज। माई सेल्फ डॉक्टर गायत्री पंडित राव, आई एम होम्योपैथिक फिजिशियन फ्रॉम पुणे। और मैंने ये संवाद श्रृंखला 3 महीने से शुरू की है, जहां पे आई ट्राई टू कॉल डॉक्टर्स, रिसर्चर्स एंड साइंटिस्ट्स कि जो इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे आके अपने व्यूज हेल्थ के बारे में शेयर करें। I'm doing this on behalf of Awaken India Movement as well as Universal Health Organization. आप लोग पहले के एपिसोड्स देखने के लिए you can go to QIve and Awaken India Movement YouTube and Facebook channels. इन प्लेटफॉर्म पे आप प्रीवियस लाइव सेशंस एज रिकॉर्डिंग्स देख सकते हैं। तो आज हमारा 16th सेशन है। सो लेट मी फर्स्ट इंट्रोड्यूस टू आवर गेस्ट टुडे, डॉक्टर आशीष फड़के।
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Hello, sir. Dr. Ashish Phadke, he is MD Ayurveda. He has done his Ph.D. in yoga philosophy and MS in psychotherapy also. He has his own center in Navi, Mumbai, which is Center for Ayurveda and Panchakarma. He is Ayurveda, yoga and eye consultant. He is president of Akhil Bharateeya Ayurved Mahasammelana Navi Mumbai branch. He is honorary deputy director for division of endocrine and metabolic disorders, lifestyle modifications and yoga, Kasturba Health Society Medical Research Center, Villeparle. He has always been invited to deliver lectures, seminars on Ayurveda, yoga, chakra therapy at various places across India as well as abroad, like Italy, Germany, Netherlands, South Korea, as well as Nigeria. He has published till date 22 research papers in national and international peer-reviewed journals. He is ex-associate professor and head of the department of Dravya Gun, which is Ayurvedic herbal pharmacology, and department of Shalakya Tantra, that is Netra Rog, at YMT Ayurvedic Medical College. He is visiting faculty at Somaiya Institute of Dharma Studies, Department of Yogic Science. Into Department of Yogic Science, Dr. Hari Singh, Gaur University in MP also, and School of Yogic Science, which is Swami Ram Institute of Medical Sciences, Swami Ram Himalayan University, Dehradun. He is ex-visiting faculty in Department of Food Science and Nutrition in SVT College of Home Science, SNDT University, Mumbai. There is a long list actually for Dr. Phadke. Because of time, I won't be able to cover everything. It's really, sir, inspiring to see that a person can do so much in his lifetime, you can say, of studies. And it's really an inspiration. So सभी को मैं बता दूं, आज का हमारा टॉपिक है मिथ्स एंड फैक्ट्स अबाउट आयुर्वेदा एंड करंट इमर्जिंग ट्रेंड्स इन आयुर्वेदिक रिसर्च, मिथक और तथ्य आयुर्वेदा के बारे में। वेलकम सर। पहले आयुर्वेदा में जाने से पहले मुझे बहुत एक उत्सुकता है आपको पूछने की, बिकॉज यू हैव डन योर पीएचडी इन फिलोसॉफी ऑफ योगा। तो बिल्कुल शॉर्ट में मे बी 2-3 मिनट्स में आप इस फिलोसॉफी के बारे में सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट जानकारी हमको क्या दे सकते हैं? कैन यू प्लीज शेयर?
Basically, my PhD is based on clinical work, not philosophy of yoga, as you said. The title goes Critical Examination of Practices and Concepts of Yoga, with special reference to test anxiety and memory status of students, right? So around 2014 or 15, I don't exactly recollect, there was a headline in Lok Satta, Marathi newspaper, Lok Satta, कि हर दिन महाराष्ट्र में 7 से 8 बच्चे सुसाइड करते हैं एग्जाम के इर्द गिर्द, जैसे रिजल्ट नजदीक आते हैं या एग्जाम नजदीक आती है, तो ये स्टूडेंट सुसाइड करने की टेंडेंसी महाराष्ट्र में बहुत ज्यादा है. एंड ओवरऑल अगर हम लोग स्टैटिस्टिक्स देखें तो वहां भी पाया गया कि विद्यार्थियों की जान देने की जो प्रवृत्ति है एग्जाम के टेंशन के कारण वो बढ़ रही है, एंड महाराष्ट्र इसमें अग्रेसर है. तो जब मैंने इसके ऊपर और चीजें पढ़ी तो पता चला कि भाई देयर इज नथिंग मोर अपार्ट फ्रॉम मॉडर्न साइकियाट्री एंड मॉडर्न काउंसलिंग, उसके अलावा इस विषय पर कोई और काम नहीं है. तो ये बात दिमाग में है कि भाई योगा से हम लोग इन्हें कुछ हेल्प कर पाएंगे क्या, एंड उस दिशा में फिर प्रवास चालू हो गया. इट टुक मी 7.5 years to complete PhD, and I'm happy that when I prepared that particular sequence, yoga sequence, which is easily doable, because आमतौर पे जो स्टडीज पहले हो चुकी थी उनमें कैसा था कि बहुत सारे आसन प्रैक्टिस करने लगते थे, बहुत सारे प्राणायाम थे, देन मेडिटेशन था, so many things were there, and most of the time those people were supposed to lie down and do shavasana or things like that. तो प्रॉब्लम ये है कि बच्चों को आधा से 1-1.5 घंटा एग्जाम के पहले देना रोज, हर रोज, ये असंभव है, राइट? तो ऐसा कुछ चाहिए कि जो आधे घंटे के अंदर अंदर करे, बैठ के करे, ताकि जगह की प्रॉब्लम ना हो, एंड एट द सेम टाइम दे शुड गेट बेनिफिट आउट ऑफ इट. तो वी कंडक्टेड दिस काइंड ऑफ वर्क एट SIS सायन में जो है, एंड वहाँ 2-2 शिफ्ट में कॉलेज चलता है. तो इतना बड़ा हॉल जहाँ बच्चों को सोने के लिए जगह मिले, ये संभव नहीं था. मगर बैठ के क्लासरूम में बेंच पे बैठ के अगर ये प्रैक्टिसेस करे, या वाइवा में जब बच्चे बाहर बैठते हैं, आपको तो पता है मेडिकल में हम लोग भी वाइवा देते हैं, ये साइंस स्ट्रीम के बच्चे वाइवा देते हैं, एंड वाइवा में सबसे डरावना सा सीन रहता है कि आता तो सब कुछ है मगर सामने एग्जामिनर है और आंख में आंख डाल के पूछता है, यस प्लीज, आर यू नोइंग दिस, तो जो आता है वो भी बच्चा भूल सकता है. सो देयर इज अ टेंडेंसी ऑफ गेटिंग ब्लैंक. सो इफ अ पर्सन डज दिस पर्टिकुलर एक्सरसाइज, दिस सीक्वेंस in a short time, even when he is standing out in that particular time, so that makes the difference. And कई लोगों के ऊपर हमने किया and we found it is really helping out. So I'm trying to take this to larger masses. चल रहा है, उसके ऊपर काम चालू है.
मैं यही पूछने वाली थी कि इफ आउटसाइड मुंबई के अगर स्टूडेंट्स को इसका लाभ लेना है, तो व्हाट इज द अदर वे? इज देयर सम बुक और रिकॉर्डिंग्स?
इसमें कैसा है कि वी कैन कंडक्ट वेबिनार ऑल्सो, या वेब बेस्ड प्रोग्राम ले सकते हैं. बट इफ यू आस्क मी इन पर्सन, तो आई वुड सजेस्ट कि इन पर्सन जो होता है दैट इज एनी टाइम बेटर, बिकॉज वेबिनार में कुछ अपने प्रॉब्लम्स रहते हैं. तो इट इज बेटर इफ दे कैन कम लर्न and go and practice. That is better. So under the aegis of Ayurvision, we do conduct such kind of programs, not only in yoga, also in Ayurved and other areas also. So dhire I am going to throw those workshops so that many people can make use of it.
Yes, that would be good actually, sir. Thanks. So sir, we will now move on to our today's topic. So many doctors till now have come on my sessions, and each one has tried to describe Ayurveda in their own style, I should say. But the core is same, but everyone's what you can say, way of describing it is different. Interpretation. So aap bataiye ki aap what you feel, how we should perceive Ayurveda as.
Now in modern medicine, or I don't know, in homeopathy also you must be using some kind of Latin or Greek. But in modern medicine, I'm very much aware that they are using Greek and Latin. So similar way in Ayurved, we use Sanskrit as the base, right? So if we want to know Ayurved from original way, rather than just mentioning the translation part. So this particular term is made up of two small terms. One is Ayu and other is Ved. So when they come together, they club together, then it becomes Ayurved. That is a term. Now Ayu means life, Ved means to know or science of, right? So it's a science of how to live healthy living. So it's a way of living. It's not just mere one branch of medicine per se. Of course, it is a branch of traditional, most ancient traditional medicine in indigenous to India. But then it's a way of life, right? So it is covering not only medicines, not only kada and gugul, golis and all that, but it also tells you how to live healthy way. So they speak about how you should behave starting from morning when you get up till you sleep, how you should behave in the night time, how you should behave and change your behavior pattern in season to season, to which we call ritucharya, dinacharya, ratricharya, and all that is what is known as Ayurveda.
So it's a holistic approach.
Holistic approach. Other
Yes.
definition which has been given by our Shastra or our text is hitahitam sukham dukkham. Ayuhu tasya hitahitam. Manam cha tat cha yatra uktam. Ayurveda sauchyate. Now this is in Sanskrit. Now let us make it simplified for those who don't know Ayurveda or who don't know Sanskrit also. Okay. Now
Right.
hita and ahita, beneficial and non-beneficial. Sukham, dukkham, pleasurable and non-pleasurable, right? So anything which is making you feel beneficial and not feeling beneficial, anything which is giving you sukha and dukkha, huh? All those things are there around us. So if we are choosing them in a rightful way, so that it should not ultimately affect your health, then that particular way of dealing
Yeah.
with these kind of stuff is, and that again
Right.
not in a arbitrarily way. Manam cha tachyatroptam. Manam cha means with standards. So in this particular person, in this particular season, at this particular age, in this particular disease, this particular level of disease, you should take this particular diet in such a proportion only, not beyond that. So with that specificity, if it has been mentioned, then that particular branch is termed as Ayurveda. That is the definition. Some people they translate it slightly different way, that the life is divided into Sukhayu, Dukhayu, Hitayu, Ahitayu. So that is another way. But I think this what I have spoken is more easy to understand. Now I give you another example. All of us in Mumbai, we are very much fond of vada pav. In Pune, you must be Chitale Bakarwadi or something like that, right? So here in
Yes.
Mumbai, everybody is with vada pav. Now, one particular vada pav, fellow is very famous. And if you happen to come to Mumbai, I'll say, okay, chalo, Dr. Gayatri, I'll give you please. Let us have one round of vada pav. Okay, and you like that very much. Then you said, chalo, now I am giving second vada pav. So we have second vada pav. Okay. Actually, our stomach is full, but still tongue is demanding, right? So we take second one, then third one, and then next that time your sukha, there is a happiness, pleasure. But next day morning, what happens? There is a problem. While washroom, there is a problem. So there is a
Right.
dukkha, right? So sometimes you have to choose that though it is pleasurable for eating that moment,
Time being.
but it may be dukkha for the next moment. So
Right.
sometimes your Karela is not that pleasurable to eat with, but that Karela is good for your health. If you understand with wisdom and eat, then it will be good. So we need to understand which kind of foodstuff, how we should take, in what quantum we should take with reference to season, how we can deviate. All that is a mix, and that is what is in specificity. Once again, that is Ayurveda.
करेक्ट सर ने बहुत आई थिंक अच्छे तरीके से सिंपल लैंग्वेज में समझाया है कि आई थिंक सभी को ये समझ में आएगा इसके पीछे का जो बेसिस है ऑफ आयुर्वेदा सर वन मोर थिंग इज व्हाट आई फील दैट एंशिएंट सिस्टम से ये आयुर्वेदा है इजंट इट लेकिन इसको सीखने का और सिखाने का ये जो तरीका है, do you find any difference lately in this system of medicine?
Earlier, people used to have gurukuls, not in Ayurveda, otherwise also. For example, if you want to learn anything in Sthapatya Shastra, architecture, or if you are going for learning Dhanurved, so you have to go to your master's place, stay there for particular years, and there 24 by 7 that master will be in front of you, and then that person will guide you. Now the things have changed. Earlier, even Ayurved was been taught in the similar fashion, right? We all are aware of the famous two universities, which were not alone famous in India, but even abroad, and that is Nalanda and Takshashila, right? So Takshashila now it is in Pakistan, and Nalanda is in Bihar. Okay, so there one of the most demanding discipline was Ayurveda, and people used to come from abroad to learn Ayurveda over here. Now we are feeling great. Oh, I'm going to US for learning XYZ specialization. Likewise, people used to come to learn Ayurveda from other countries to India that time. Okay, so there everyone used to sit next to Guru, and then they used to do the studies and all. The basic difference which I see now, that those time we used to have samhitas. Samhitas means treatise. Okay, the basic text, like we have got Charaka Samhita, we have got Sushrut Samhita, we have got Vagbhat Samhita. So entire Samhita, entire text happens to be studied by that disciple, and that guru will teach, right? Now what is happening, because we all are coming from 10 plus 2, 12 science, and then you do that नीट से स्टडी करके नीट अभ्यास करके आप आ जाते हो, एंड देन you are basically having no sensitization about Ayurvedic concepts. So in first year, we in Ayurvedic discipline particularly, I say that we need to study anatomy also, which we take help of Cunningham and Grace and other things, Chaurasia. But at the same time,
Yes.
you require to learn what is Sharir, which has been mentioned by Sushrut and other texts. So every, the curriculum has been divided something similar and parallel to the lines of modern medicine. Like in the first year, the basic sciences like anatomy, physiology,
Yes,
right?
anatomy,
We don't
physiology,
have
and all.
biochemistry, but then anatomy we have got Sharir. Physiology we have got Kriya Sharir or Dosha Dhatu Mala Vijnan. Then we have got metaphysics, which is known as Padartha Vijnan. Now that Padartha Vijnan is again based on all Darshan Shastras. All these specific Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, Sankhya, all those are to be taught, because Ayurveda is based on all these Darshan Shastra also. So one need to learn the basics of those, and then learn what are the applications of it. And then second year you learn pharmacology, pathology, in like in modern. So we have got
Yes.
Nidana Shastra, we have got say Dravya Guna Vijnan, that is Ayurvedic herbal pharmacology. Then we have got Ayurvedic metallic, pharmaceutics. So Rasa Shastra, Vaishajya Kalpana Vijnan, and things like that. Then Swastha Vrutta, the one which I was speaking in Dinacharya, Ratri Charya, all that comes in Swastha Vrutta. Swastha means it's a concept of Ayurveda of holistic health. So Swastha is again made up of two terms, Swa and Stha. So Swa means ourselves, right? And Sthiti is denoted by Stha. So the Sthiti of your own self when you are having no disease. When you take entry on this particular planet, then you are not having actually disease. Forget about the exceptions of anomalies or genetic problems, right? But otherwise, we all are normal, right? But then, how to understand that concept of swastha? So, Ayurveda says that samadosha samagnischa samadhatu malakriya prasanna atma indriya manaha swastha iti abhidiyate. So, this is Sanskrit definition. So, what does it mean? That samadosha, there are vata, pitta, kapha, these are doshas. Then there are 7 types of vital tissues like rasa, rakta, mausa, meda, asti, majja, shukra. So basically, all vital tissues like your blood, your bones, then your muscles, then your adipose tissues, and things like that. And then there is three types of excretory waste metabolites. Like there is a stool, like there is a urine, there is a sweat which are going on. So those, and finally there is also very important aspect that who governs the entire body, what makes the entire processing happens, and that is what is digestive fire, so which we call agni. Okay, so when these are in a equilibria, that is the first line of this sutra, this slope, then we can consider that our physical health is normal. Okay,
Right.
and in the second line they speak about mental health. In the second line they speak about your spiritual health, because prasanna atma indriya mana. So atma comes soul, so spiritual health, and mana is mental health. So it is a composite of physical, mental, and spiritual health. And also there are certain other additions like swasthavatta, so social health, sexual health, all that has been included. So if we see WHO definition, health is not just mere absence of diseases or infirmity, but it's a conglomeration of all these factors. And this is something exactly similar, which has been mentioned 5000 BC. So that is very important. And other
सर मैं
important
आप
thing,
जब ये सब बोल रहे
preventive
हैं
medic. Sorry.
नहीं yes you continue I'll tell later you continue.
Okay. So there is another interesting part which I wanted to bring to notice, that the discipline like preventive and social medicine (PSM), it is
Yes.
there in the modern medicine since few decades, not very old, right? But in the Ayurveda, the basic motto of Ayurveda is Swasthasya Swasthya Rakshanam. So to make healthy people remain healthy, and if they get diseases, then aturasya vikara prashamanam cha. So those who are diseased can be converted back to healthy state. So the basic aim and objective of Ayurveda is to see to it that healthy people should remain healthy. So it is preventive also and curative as well. So that is the part
Okay.
I wanted to say. You were saying
Okay.
something.
या नो सर एक्चुअली आप जब ये सब बोल रहे हैं तो इट इज लाइक लिसनिंग टू होम्योपैथी ओनली, क्योंकि होम्योपैथी आल्सो
Yeah.
वर्क्स ऑन सेम प्रिंसिपल्स and it believes in holistic approach towards health and everything actually is very relatable. Sir, but बहुत सारे
See,
मिथक भी है.
I have not studied homeopathy, but I have read some of the books, right? So Dr. Hahnemann has also studied Ayurveda. And this
Yes.
similibus similus is a principle which is there in Ayurveda. And there is another principle of trituration. So potentization,
Trituration,
basically. So that
potentization,
potentization is again something almost parallel, or rather based
parallel
on
to,
what we call
yes.
Mardhanam Gunavardhanam. So we do trituration Mardhanam Gunavardhanam. It potentiates the properties. So it is there in Ayurveda.
Okay. So, sir, now let's move on to the myths, because ये myth के इतने myths है लोगों के मन में about these systems of medicine. तो many people feel कि आयुर्वेदा अगर बोला तो सबको पहले लगता है कि it is herbs related, herbal ही है, या उसके कुछ साइड इफेक्ट्स नहीं है, और उसकी एक्सपायरी डेट मेडिसिन की नहीं रहती है, या धीरे धीरे काम करता है, एंड उसका स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन कुछ नहीं है आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन का. तो ये सब बहुत सिमिलर मिथ्स है सर, कि जो हम लोग देखते हैं कि इट इज रिलेटेबल टू मोस्ट ऑफ द पैथीज दीज पीपल से, बट दे डोंट रिलेट दिस टू एलोपैथिक मेडिसिन. सो आपका इसके बारे में क्या व्यू है, दैट व्हाई दीज मिथ्स आर स्टिल देयर व्हेन वी ऑलरेडी नो हाउ बेनिफिशियल our system of medicines has been since ages?
No, basically कैसा है कि there is no awareness, and the reason for not having awareness is because we are not been taught about it since our schooling. School mein we are being taught about physics, chemistry, biology, right? Starting from your 7th standard or 5th standard. But they are not being taught about concept of health in Ayurveda or concepts in homeopathy. If they have been introduced, sensitized to that level, then definitely there will be no problem, right? But unfortunately, it was not there since then. Now the things are changing to some extent, right? Now coming to common myths, as you mentioned rightly, that Ayurveda means jadi buti ka dawa, not just herbal. I am going one step ahead. Ayurveda means jadi
Jadi
buti ka
Bhuti,
dawa.
yes.
Anyone can learn anything from the columns or TV shows. They will just jot it down
Yes.
and start doing self medication. And if something goes wrong, then the culprit is Ayurveda. Oh, that is toxic, right?
Yes.
But nobody understands that you should really go to doctor, and they
Hmm.
are being trained in that particular discipline for 5.5 years for undergraduation, 3 years extra for MD, and then they are
Graduation.
doing all that business. So it's not like to be just taken so casually. I know even in homeopathy also people they read books and they start giving
Over the counter.
tablets.
Yes. Yes.
Considering
Over
that,
the
yeah,
counter.
because oh, it's easy, it's not too difficult, but it's not so. So that is the case. But in considering this first myth, that is jadi buti kadava, yes, Ayurveda do have medicines from three sources, drugs from three sources. One is herbal source. So all these, examples like starting from your tulsi, aloe vera, and ashwagandha and whatnot. So many herbs are there in Ayurveda. Almost thousands of them are there. Then second source is animal source, like your milk, cow's ghee, right? Then there is gorochan, there is honey. So there are so many stuff which is coming from animal source, right? And then third source which is coming from metallic origin, and that is what
Hmm.
is all different kinds of metals. So what kind of metals? So we use suvarna, that is gold, then silver, then copper, then iron. Okay, then even we use lead, which is considered to be very, very toxic, but we use lead. And if the way of preparation is correct, then that
Hmm.
proves to be elixir
Medicinal
for a
properties.
person who
Hmm.
is taking that medicine. But it needs to be prepared correctly, right? So these are
Yes.
three basic sources, that is metallic, then animal origin, and herbal origin. Then secondly, you mentioned that it is slow acting. Again, it's a myth because today only I had a patient of calcaneal spur. Okay, and another case of torticollis.
Okay.
tortoise में गर्दन टेढ़ी ऐसी ही रहती है, सीधी होती नहीं, right?
Yes.
And people they are moving from doctors to doctors and they land up, right? So if you have such kind of patient, if you know particular Panchakarma techniques correctly, if you have learned and practiced it earlier, then with mere few seconds, you just do Agni Karma, you just do Vidya Chikitsa, or you just do Nasya, and you see instantaneous results. Instantaneous. So again, it's a myth. Is the question what kind of medicines you are using, which kind of modality you are using, whether you are using
Correct.
external therapy or internal therapy or combination of both, which kind of panchakarma you are applying with, and then you see the result. So in certain condition, again, it is depends on which kind of disease you are dealing with, right? People, am I audible?
Yes,
Hello,
yes, sir. Yes, you are audible.
hello.
You are
Ah,
audible, sir.
okay, okay. No, no. Okay, okay. Because in between your frame was freeze, so I was not
Yeah,
getting clue.
network
Anyway,
issue, it
so
seems it
depends
is there.
on okay, okay. So depends on which disease you are treating with. Again, that result will vary. And I always tell patient that if you are going to any allopathic consultant counterpart, if you are diabetic, if you are hypertensive, do you expect that by taking mere 2 or 5 tablets, your diabetes will go away? It can't.
Exactly.
So you require to have patience. So your name is patient, right?
True.
So once they understand that concept, then we can work properly. Then coming down to whether it is safe or it has got no side effect, then I always say that even Ayurvedic drugs do possess side effects,
Have
but in
some.
a very little way.
Hmm.
If you claim that our drugs doesn't have side effect, then your drug is no more drug. If there is a drug, then effect and side effects
You
are
will-
the
Hmm.
two sides of the same coin. But then what kind of drug you are using in which dose, with what vehicle, to which we call anupan, whether you are giving it with honey, whether you are giving it with milk,
Right.
or with buttermilk, or with lukewarm water, or with cold water. That depends, that that particular drug will not exhibit undue effects. So one need to follow the instructions of doctor very carefully and 100%, right? And if we follow that, and if we don't do say self prescription or self medication, then I think this side effect things
That is
may
more
not be there.
important.
Compared to modern medicine, they are much lesser. But there are states of poisonous drugs in Ayurvedic medicine also. So those needs to be taken under strict supervision of Ayurvedic physicians. So that is
Right.
there. Okay. Then nowadays,
Expiry.
even government has initiated pharmacovigilance program in Ayurveda as well. I'm sure it must be with homeopathy as well. But in Ayurveda,
Yes.
I'm very much sure that there are certain centers, and all doctors are supposed to report if they feel that particular drug is giving me such kind of adverse reaction or
Results.
adverse
Yes.
events, then we need to report that. So there is a understanding about side effects in Ayurveda, and in Rasa Shastra particularly, they have mentioned that if you don't do proper shodhan, purification, then that can create side effects and to the extent of death also. In mercurial preparations, they have mentioned that if you don't do proper processing of that mercury, we have Ashta Samskar. So if you don't do those particular processing, then rase maranam api karoti. Rase, there are various shlokas in which they are mentioned about the side effects. So it is there, it has been mentioned. Only thing, if you use it correctly, it doesn't gives rise to that extent. Okay. And what
Right.
last you mentioned
Expiry
in
dates,
myths, you
sir.
said
What is your view?
expiry. Okay.
Expiry dates.
Okay. In Sharandar Samhita, there is one text known as Sharandar Samhita. They have very clearly mentioned that if you are using juices, it needs to be used only for this much hours. Okay. If you are using pulvis, powders, churna, which we call, it needs to be done within 3 to 6 months. Okay. In tablets, again between 1 to 2 years. So they have mentioned about it. And particularly Asavarishta, they are saying it can be used for longer duration, and particularly mercurial preparation, that is Rasaushadi, for which they have again kept the time factor much more, Basmas particularly. But
Okay.
commonly, when you go to any Ayurvedic shop and if there is very old preparation, then if you ask that fellow that, oh, this is very old now, 2023 is going on, 2024 will start within next month. And if you are purchasing and you see 2014 preparation powder, then definitely you should not take. You should look for expiry, and FDA has made it mandatory to write down expiry. And usually it is
Right.
between 2 to 3 years if it is tablets or
Maximum 5
capsules,
years, I
even
think. For
lesser. Yeah,
homeopathy, most of the time
maximum
it is
5 years.
5 years.
But particularly, no. For powders, it is less. Powders, it is less.
Powders.
See, in homeopathy, you are using tinctures. So it's a
Yes,
alcoholic
mother
base.
teachers. Yes.
So there the expiry is more. But when it is without any alcohol base preparations, then you require to know that it needs to
Yes.
be taken in that much duration itself.
Okay. 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 And sir, what is actually like Shuddhi means what exactly? Processing and all that you do, or so what exactly is the process? Like in homeopathy, there is trituration and succussions, जिसे हम बोलते हैं. लेकिन
Hmm.
आयुर्वेदा में ऐसी कौन सी मेथडोलॉजी है
No, no.
कि
Here it
जिससे
is it's a huge thing. For example, if
okay.
you want to take, say, as simple as iron, right? So iron cannot be iron rods. If your pieces, if you are taking, you cannot ingest it. So you require to make it assimilable. And you in those iron ores there are certain impurities. So they require to be heated and to be immersed in a different solutes. So we have got something known as Taile Takre Gavamutre Kanji Kecha Kulattaje. Saptada Sapta Nirvape. So Taile means Tila Tail. Okay, sesame oil. takre, that is buttermilk made up of cow's milk. Huh?
Right.
Gavamutre, that is gomutra, cow's urine. Kanji, there is a kanji. Kanji, I need not explain what kanji is. Rice and other stuff that
Yes.
fermentation के बाद में जो होता है, that is kanji. Then kulatha, kulatha is horse gram decoction. Huh? Uh, you have to boil these solutes separately, and you have to heat up that iron rod or iron particle or ore to red heat. Okay, and then immerse it, then remove it,
Okay.
then again make it reheat, immerse to second solid, taile, takre, then gomutra, then kanji, and then kulat takwar. So in 5 solutes, you immerse it subsequently and repeat this for 7 times. So when you
Okay.
do this, then that becomes very brittle, and then you triturate, and then again it is to be processed in some other quat or some other decoction in dola yantra and other thing, and then it is to be prepared into cakes, and those needs to be then incinerated in a particular bhatti, and those bhattis are furnaces which are lit by not electric or other thing, but what we call cow dung cake,
Okay.
Goria, right?
Gauriya.
So in and again they have specified that this preparation you require to have only 500 those cow dung cake. Other preparation you require 2000. So they have probably calculated the temperature gradient required. And now we have standardized that, okay, in this particular furnace, it goes to the tune of 2000 or 105, 1500 or 800 or kind of stuff. So now people, they have started sometimes using optional, like, they use in furnaces. But ideally, one does in this kind of way. So this is known as Shodhan. Then that incineration in furnace is known as Maran. And after Maran, then again you triturate, and there are certain processes like Amrutikaran, Satvapatan. And then
Okay.
the poisonous material like mercury or poisonous metal like plumbum, that is lead, can be utilized as a medicine and doesn't create any hepatotoxicity or
Okay.
inotoxicity. And studies have been
Okay.
undertaken and it has been proven beyond doubt. But unfortunately, because of shortcuts in the pharma industry,
Ha.
sometimes people they get substandard drug and that creates problem. Or sometimes people they take these kind of medicines by their own in a wrong dosage for a long time, which is not supposed to be taken, right? And then it can create problem. Like ciprofloxacin, you're not taking for 1 month, as simple as that. Or even simply your paracetamol, which is supposed to be taken for SOS, not for such a long time.
Such
And if
time.
you take it for a
Limited time.
higher dose, then it also proves to be hepatotoxic for children. So something similar, if you use Ayurvedic product, though they are otherwise considered to be toxic, but after this purification or Shodhan or Maran, that becomes like Amrit, right?
Right. So, sir, this all is pertaining to Ayurveda in general. But now let us move on to the research aspect of Ayurveda. So, many people feel कि there is even I being a homeopath, मुझे भी ऐसा बहुत बार लगता है that our system of medicines somewhere do lack in research. To be very frank. सो आपका क्या व्यू है कि अभी की स्थिति में वेयर इज आयुर्वेदा स्टैंडिंग एज फार एज रिसर्च इज कंसर्न?
No, I think research is going on. Unfortunately, people are not aware what is going on.
हाँ.
It is happening
So even doctors are not
intra-system.
aware. Doctors are also not
That's what I'm saying.
completely aware.
Intra-system, inter-system, yes. So even see, I'm a person who is into research background as well. So I know that there is something a great amount of research being put in
Going
all
on. हाँ.
Ayush system. Forget only Ayurveda, but even in
हाँ.
Ayurveda, in homeopathy, in Siddha, in Unani, in Sovarikpa, in yoga and naturopathy, everywhere research work is going on. Okay. Now within Ayurveda, I'll say that research is not a new thing for Ayurveda, because when just now I explained about this Shodhan Maran. Now, how that must have come out in final stage? By doing research only. They might have given some other raw things, and they might have seen that, oh, this is giving side effects. So we need to make it assimilable. So they went on doing processing, and that final thing has come to play. Right. So research, on the base of research only, the entire thing has evolved, and how this particular science has still there after 5,000 years as well. So again, it is based on the research base. Only thing, the language of research or the language of interpretation then was Sanskrit, and now what we see is English or the modern
Right.
Newtonian style, right?
Time.
Our research or our approach, may it be Ayurveda, may it be yoga, may it be homeopathy, may it be Siddha, they are all holistic in nature. We are not basically looking into reductionist model. But in
Correct.
modern style, we
Correct.
are looking for modern reductionist model. Now, in modern medicine or modern clinical research, we are looking out for clinical trials, for example, a randomized
Hmm.
control trial and double
Hmm.
blind trial and all that stuff.
Right.
But sometimes you see that if you apply that same model to Ayurveda, then sometimes you lack in certain essence of it,
Hmm.
right? So sometimes n equal to 1 studies are also important in Ayurveda and Ayush system of medicine, I believe.
Hmm.
If one case is also showing some specific thing, but very unusual case, not the common case
Hmm.
of cough and cold, naturally not, but very unusual case, say comatose patient,
Hmm.
you use some homeopathic drugs or you use some Ayurvedic drug and a patient is out. And if you report
Hmm.
that properly, then that is again a research kind of observational
Hmm.
research, right? Observational therapeutics.
Right.
But in Ayurveda, we definitely do have a lot of work which is happening since long. Earlier, we had not a ministry, but a department of ISM and H that was
Hmm.
together earlier. Indian System
Hmm.
of Medicine and Homeopathy. That was the name of the department.
Yes.
And under that, they
Hmm.
used to conduct research. Now we have got a separate ministry, Ayush ministry, where A stands for Ayurveda, Y stands for Yoga and Naturopathy, U stands for Unani, right? Then S stands for Siddha and
Siddha.
Sovarikpa, that is Tibetan medicine, and H stands for Homeopathy. So they have got
Homeopathy.
their separate councils, research councils. So Ayurveda, we have got CCRAS, Central Council of Research in Ayurvedic Sciences, and they
Okay.
have got huge work which is already ongoing since many years. And current Director General, Dr. Rabinarayan Acharya, sir, I know him, and he is a person from Jamnagar. He earlier head of the Department of Dravya Guna, and now he is DG. Okay, and doing wonderful job. Now, CCR is basically working in an area of drug research or fundamental research. What is dosha, then all those fundamental aspects which we learn
Right.
otherwise in theory, or literary research. That is another area you can go for interpretation or commentaries of, just say, Charak Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, and
Hmm.
different commentators have written something which were
Hmm.
not been published earlier. So that is again a kind of literary research. So that is also going on. Then drug research, you can work on making new drug formulations. Okay. Then clinical research on a particular disease condition, they have had a priority of diseases on which we are working with Ayurvedic way. So they have got some list of diseases which are for priority for national benefit per se. So they are doing clinical trials, and they are having pharmacological studies, pharmacognostic studies. So to understand and identify which particular plant is what exactly, like, because there are things. Okay, yeah, please.
Sir,
Bolo, bolo.
sorry to
Yes, okay.
interrupt, but I would like to
No,
ask one thing. Now, when you are talking about
no,
Ayush and the research
hmm,
council, मुझे ऐसा लगता है, but still there is some limitations and limited amount of work that is happening on state level. Do you think so? Central,
I
yes,
don't
I
think so,
agree
because
that.
no. Because if you see the hierarchy of these councils, they have got central part in Delhi and all, but in state-wise again they have got distribution. Like in Mumbai, we have got Podar Hospital, Podar Ayurvedic College. They have got their own center, right? So
Okay.
likewise, they have got center at Pune, they have got center at Nagpur. So different places they have got their openings, and they are doing. But okay, whether should we be only happy with these government agencies, or should we have more people to work in this? Yes, the answer is big yes. Okay, earlier I used
Correct.
to be getting connected. I worked with KM Hospital. At KM Hospital, Mumbai, GS Medical said GS Medical College, Department of Pharmacology, they have initiated first of its own kind Ayurved Research Center in modern medical hospital by Dr. late
Okay.
Dr. Shardini Danukar madam. And I
Hmm.
was
Hmm.
lucky enough to be in touch with her, and she guided us. Then Dr. Thatte madam, Dr. Rege madam, they were there after her, and the work is going on, still going on. I was there in ARC, Ayurved Research Center, KM. Okay, then in most of our Ayurvedic colleges where they have got postgraduate centers, they
Hmm.
have PG students, so they have to do some kind of work, research work, and
Research work.
do their dissertation. May it be MD level, may it be PhD level. So even at
Hmm.
that level, also things are going on. But the
Okay.
place where I am right now working, that is Kasturba Health Society Medical Research Center, KHS
Hmm.
MRC. So we are the center which is known for integrative research. Integrative research
Okay.
in the sense, whatever is best from modern
Best
medicine,
of
you
all
take that,
patties.
and whatever is based from Ayurveda and other pathies, you put it together, and we work on the principle of AIMD, Ancient Insights, Modern Wisdom, or Modern
Okay.
Discoveries, AIMD. And
Okay.
Dr. Ashok Vaidya sir and Dr. Amma Vaidya madam, they are our mentors. He is a doyen in clinical pharmacology. He has established the area of clinical pharmacology after coming from Yale University, US. And madam happens to be PhD in endocrinology and MD in gynec. So,
Hmm.
kind of, and they both are having in-depth knowledge of Ayurveda, right?
Okay.
So, when you get to know such people, such mentors, then it
Hmm.
makes a difference. Now, our current center head is a nutritional scientist. She's also PhD from America, but she has got
Okay.
a in-depth interest in Ayurveda. So we are working in the interface where Ayurveda and modern medicine can come together, and we can put the best from the either and create something. Now, for example, I'll tell you, I used to go and take lectures for these MSc and BSc girls, those who are learning
Hmm.
uh, food and nutrition sciences or
Food and
dietetics,
nutrition.
right? So
Hmm.
there we go and we teach them integrative Ayurvedic dietetics. So like in homeopathy, you have got MI.I.M, so we have got Prakriti.
Miles and
So the
yes.
moment you know
Hmm.
Prakriti, then you can understand how neatly you can suggest them, diet chart. Not just because
Correct.
it is diabetes, so you have got that typical prototype, one katori,
Hmm.
there's two bread slice, A, B, C, D, E. No, because every individual is different, and you require to understand that concept, and then you guide them, advise them. And when they
Correct.
learned and then they joined hospitals, now they are calling and telling Dr. Phadke sir, what you taught then is we are using it and we are able to see the difference. And that is what we aim to see, that how we can do. Now we are doing another project on Basma. One of our student, PhD student, she is working on Mandur Basma. And we are doing it exactly classical way. And then in between steps, we are doing all the investigations, like using best of best. And we have found out that this basma, which has been prepared by that student,
Hmm.
it is coming
Hmm.
out to the tune of nanoparticles, right? So Bhasmas are equal to 9, everybody knows. But at every interval of this Shodhan process, what are the changes? Whether it is using crystallography, XRD, or electron microscopy, what kind of changes are taking place? So that also we are studying. So we are trying to take advantage of modern techniques, modern technology, and Ayurvedic wisdom. So all that kind of research work is going on. I'm also working in the field of Ayurveda and Jyotish along with my mother. So Jyotish and
Okay.
Ayurveda, they go hand in hand, astrology and Ayurveda. So there are certain plants which are considered to be Aradhya Vriksha for particular nakshatra. So if you happen to know the natal chart of particular patient, not common patient, extreme patients, and if you use
Extreme,
those
huh?
particular
Yes.
vanaspati, those medicinal plants, then it shows the difference. I'm working in the field of Ayurvedic ophthalmology. I'm working in the field of mantra shastra. I'm working in the field of musicology, musicotherapy, yoga and Ayurveda. So anyway, I'm into it. So there is a
Sir,
lot
and what
of
about
things which
new
are going
diseases
on.
that are coming? जो नए नए
Sorry.
आजकल न्यू डिजीज, जो नए नए रोग आजकल आ रहे हैं, एंड द नॉमेनक्लेचर
Yeah,
दैट
yeah,
इज
yeah.
गोइंग ऑन विद इट, तो उसके बारे में
Hmm.
वेयर डज आयुर्वेदा रिसर्च स्टैंड? आप, व्हाट वाज योर
Actually,
एक्सपीरियंस
oh,
ड्यूरिंग कोविड?
yeah, yeah, yeah. In COVID, again, many people they have used many Ayurvedic combinations, and it was very useful, very, very useful. They have reported also to the agencies, but unfortunately, government agencies were not ready to give permission to tackle serious cases. Cases in the isolation and primary level, that is okay, right? But if it is found out to be useful in cases whereby the oxygen levels are dropping to
हाँ,
80 and 70, and if it is found out to be really, really useful, then one has to take further steps, little be bold,
करेक्ट,
and with proper care, of
करेक्ट,
course. I think that could have been much different. But then I'm very happy to mention here that things, the common herbs like your licorice, that is Jastimad, okay,
जस्ट
then
हम,
your ashwagandha, then your shatavari, then dhanyak, that is dhania, then like your shunti, that is zingiber officinalis,
हाँ,
adrak,
yes.
then black
Sir,
pepper.
all
All these are
medicines are
found
used
out to
in
be very
homeopathy
useful
also.
against COVID, and that has been not said just by fluke, but by doing preclinical work or by doing newer techniques whereby you can work it on computer and you can see that whether it is really blocking particular receptors and all, in vitro, in vivo, and in silico we call. So in
Right.
silico studies also it has been found out to be useful. So I think and even some of the researchers, they have come out with combinations, right? And with proper claims. Certain people, they have claimed it out of way, and I don't name because it will be unethical, but you understand about whom I am referring to. So they claim that, oh, our medicine will cure the disease, and then now Supreme Court has taken stand on that. So
Yes.
that kind of arguments create bad name to the pathy, basically, right? But yes, government has helped to some extent, but it should have been much more. And more
हाँ.
than vaccines was required anyway. But then more than that, the focus has to be how you can improve your immunity, and so that every now and then the new virus would come, and again you will try to prick new vaccine. So in spite of that,
Correct.
why not to sensitize our masses so that they will follow this wisdom, and then they will not get succumb to such kind of epidemics. Basically,
Right.
epidemic is mentioned, or the concept of pandemic is mentioned in Ayurveda as a Janapadodvamsa. And
Hmm.
there they have mentioned the causes and all. So I'm not getting into those. But then if we follow the basic principles of Ayurveda, I think we can uplift our society to such an extent that they should not fall sick. And if at all these kind of organisms come, now again there is another news coming from China that there is a kind of new respiratory problem which is growing up. So we should
Yes.
be gearing up not only for oxygen supply and all, but we should teach our masses that you please follow these rules so that you
But
will not fall sick.
yes, sir, very another important thing that I would like to ask here is कि आयुष डिपार्टमेंट से आप है, तो आयुष एंड डब्ल्यूएचओ का जो अभी जामनगर में ग्लोबल सेंटर का इनॉग्रेशन हुआ एंड दे आर ट्राइंग टू कोलैबोरेट विथ ईच अदर, तो व्हाट इज योर व्यू रिगार्डिंग दिस, हाउ यू एक्सपेक्ट दिस टू गो अहेड?
I think this is really good because once upon a time when I had been to Germany and all 2000, year 2000, 23 years back, or our seniors very
हेलो.
Hello.
Hello?
Sorry.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
that time the situation was very difficult. But now when WHO people they are coming and establishing regional center for traditional medicine at Jamnagar. Okay, and what they
Hmm.
are trying to one sec. Someone is calling and this is
Achha.
phone, so it is interrupting.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay, okay.
So, because now we are on mobile, not on
Yes,
laptop.
yes.
So there they are trying to do collaboration of traditional medicine and complementary
Hmm.
medicine. Not many times. Oh my goodness. Many a times
Sir, sir, just a
it so
question. Do you
happens
really,
that
one minute,
yeah.
do you really think that we should be called ourselves as complementary? This is the biggest question I want to ask you.
No. I'm coming towards it. I'm coming towards it.
Okay.
Complementary is still better word. Earlier they used to say alternative.
Yeah.
Okay. Ayurveda is an alternative medicine. And I used to say in all conferences in a loud voice that you are alternative, we are native. Ayurveda is a
Yes,
very
yes.
much native. Ayurveda, Siddha, Yoga, they are native. So they are not alternative. Complementary is what you are using Ayurveda along with modern medicine judicially.
Completing. You
And
are
if
completing.
it is helping for the benefit of the patient, why not? See, one should not raise the flags of our personal egos. If I am getting benefit of modern medicine or modern technology, why not? If
Hmm.
I am supposed to do my research and I require technology whereby I want to see the exact measurement of the basma, then I'm
Hmm.
using electron microscopy. I'm using XRD, so why not? Similar way, if we are using their techniques or their some of their
Hmm.
better points, I don't think it is not to be accepted. It is to be accepted, provided you are not losing your essence.
Hmm.
If you are
Correct.
trying to fit in your science in their model, then sometimes it is wrong and bad because then
Hmm.
that can give you wrong results and wrong understanding,
Right.
and that can give a tappa, oh, it is useless. So that should not happen, and I'm sure these people are wiser now, not that
Hmm.
unknown to these facts also. So let us be hopeful rather than criticizing. Let us be hopeful. What
Uh,
they are doing and what is more spoken nowadays, that they are coming together for creating universal herbal pharmacopoeia, which is a good move. Good move. So once that pharmacopoeia is been prepared with all pharmacopoeial standards, basically, then our drugs which are not having entry in other countries, probably it may have smoother entry. So we can
hmm.
understand, we can have chromatographic techniques, we can have HPLC, TLC, and all that. So that will be useful.
So only मेरा concern एक ही है that one should not overpower the other, because जो भी decisions होते हैं that I feel that it should be unanimously taken, and not just because you are part of something now and somebody is trying to overpower you
correct.
with the decisions. So that is the concern.
Yeah, but correct. But then I don't know whether you have noticed earlier, all Ayush ministry or Ayush, systems decisions were taken by secretary, who happens to be a non-medical person,
Okay.
or sometimes one or two rare conditions, modern medical person. But
Hmm.
now the scenario has changed to a great extent that Ayush ministry main secretary, chief secretary is Ayurvedic person. He is a MD in Ayurveda, MD PhD Ayurveda. The advisory board people to whom I have met recently only, they are again Ayurvedic people. So the moment the key people who have occupied, they are clinicians. So they know what problems and what interpretations, wrong interpretations would come out if it has
Right.
been put in a different way. So I'm hopeful. Now
Okay. Sir,
we have got
uh,
recently come up
abhi,
with Nas- National Council of Indian System of Medicine, NCISM. And
acha.
NCISM is also governing so many things. So Dr. Akhil Sharma is now president, who happens to be from our own college, and he was my
Okay.
senior. So even
Okay.
whenever we meet him, we can understand now these people, they are trying their level best to see to it that how we can protect the uh, essence of Ayurvedic wisdom, and just not
Okay.
to sway with what others are saying. But what you said is right. That needs to be focused and that needs to be protected.
And sir, one more thing is, if we see on global, if we take a global view, तो अभी करंटली सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात जो सभी मेडिकल फ्रेटर्निटी में चल रही है वो है पैंडेमिक ट्रीटी. I don't know how,
Hmm.
like you will be aware of it. And WHO is trying to, connect this pandemic treaty and let every country sign it. So concern यही है कि there are lot of amendments जो IHR जिसे हम बोलते हैं हेल्थ रेगुलेशंस, उसमें भी बहुत सारे चेंजेस, बदलाव उन लोगों ने लाए हैं. एंड न्यूज में है कि बहुत सारे कंट्रीज पैंडेमिक ट्रीटी नहीं चाह रहे हैं. But India is not much talking about this pandemic treaty and everything. पार्लियामेंट में भी कुछ इसके बारे में बात नहीं चल रही है. अदर कंट्रीज में इसको हटाने की बात चल रही है, यू नो दैट वी डोंट वांट पैंडेमिक ट्रीटी. तो आपका
Hmm.
व्यू इसके बारे में क्या है? हाउ शुड इंडिया व्यू दिस ट्रीटी एज? व्हाट इज योर व्यू एज अ डॉक्टर?
Actually, I have not read that document in a detail. So without reading
Okay.
any document to give any viewpoint will be wrong. First point. But then, if it is like that, then I'm sure whomever is the bureaucrat sitting on the positions, may it be from medical side, may it be from Ayush side, they should
Right.
read and then carefully take the decision. Just don't sign for the sake of signing.
Exactly.
And I'm sure
हाँ,
we
बस
people are
उतना ही कंसर्न है.
uh, for that. Yeah. It
राइट.
should be taken seriously.
मुझे लगता है आज पब्लिक को बहुत वाइड एस्पेक्ट मिला होगा आयुर्वेद के ऊपर. बट सर, व्हाइल वी आर टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ आवर सेशन, मैं आपको ये पूछना चाहूंगी कि आप एक मैसेज लोगों को, एक मैसेज जनरल डॉक्टर को और एक मैसेज पॉलिसी मेकर को आप क्या दोगे आज एट द एंड ऑफ दिस सेशन?
मैं तीनों को मिलके एक मैसेज पहला देता हूँ, फिर देखते हैं अलग अलग. कि there is
ओके.
one श्लोक from अष्टांग हृदय and चरक संहिता, नरो हिताहार विहार सेवी और नित्यम हिताहार विहार सेवी. This is a version of it. So the one नित्यम हित कर आहार करने वाले और विहार करने वाले, मतलब रात को समय से सो जाए, बहुत ज्यादा समय तक व्हाट्सएप पे ना रहे, बहुत ज्यादा समय तक मोबाइल यूज ना करे. सो नित्यम हित आहार करे और विहार करे. समीक्षकारी, सम इक्षकारी, इच्छा मतलब केवल आंख नहीं, तो आपके ज्ञानेंद्रियों का सम्यक प्रयोग करने वाले. समीक्षकारी विषयेषु असक्ता, जो अलग अलग विषय, विषय मतलब नॉट सब्जेक्ट, विषय मीन्स the topics with which you get entangled with. So anything which will attract you. समीक्षकारी विशेषु असं का उससे दूर रहने वाले. दाता हमेशा दूसरों को देने की इच्छा रखने वाले और जिनके पास कैपेसिटी है और नहीं दे रहे, ऐसे नहीं, देने की इच्छा रखने वाले. दाता सत्यपर, जो दूसरों को अच्छा लगे इसलिए खाली मीठा मीठा गलत नहीं बताएगा, बट सही बताने वाले. ओके, दाता सत्यपर, क्षमावान, क्षमा करने की कैपेसिटी रखने वाले. ऐसा नहीं कि सामर्थ्य नहीं और मैं क्षमा कर रहा हूँ, सामर्थ्य होते हुए क्षमा करने वाले. आप्तोपसेवी, आप्त मतलब दोस्त जो आर अपने घर के आप्त नहीं, माँ बाप और नाना नानी, वो नहीं बात कर रहा हूँ. ये जो ग्रंथ है अपने, जैसे आपके लिए आप्त कौन है? हनीमन है, डॉक्टर हनीमन सर है. हमारे लिए चरक है, सुश्रुत है, जो भी जिन्होंने ये लिख के रखा है, जो निजी स्वार्थ के लिए नहीं लिखा है. तो आप्तोपसेवी न च भवति रोग, उनको कभी भी रोग नहीं होगा. तो ये अगर हम फॉलो करें तो हमें रोग नहीं होगा, राइट? तो दिस इज अ मैसेज. Then coming down to doctors, you better believe in what you are. You don't just feel कि अरे बाप रे, मुझे आयुर्वेद तो मैंने पढ़ा है, बट मुझसे आयुर्वेद कौन लेगा, तो लेट मी स्टार्ट practicing allopathy. Okay, there's nothing wrong in practicing allopathy, but 99% आप आयुर्वेद करें. 1-2% अगर इमरजेंसी है, yes, if you have learned and if you are allowed, so definitely you can do. But if it is vice versa, then it is not correct. Coming to common people, आयुर्वेद मतलब कोई जादू का छड़ी नहीं है कि एक दिन आपने दवा खाई तो आप इमीडिएटली ठीक होने वाले हो. या आयुर्वेद इज नॉट completely safe, neither it is completely toxic. It is a medicine. So you have to follow doctors and follow diet properly, and then only you can get away from problems. Okay, and policymakers, you have to make doctors of Ayurvedic fraternity updated with the world view, with the modern research, with the Ayurvedic research which is happening within field. And then only I think we can see that all people will be getting more sensitized towards other, you know, different branches other than modern medicine. So Ayush, in real sense, then it will start getting utilized. Though now we can see many people are going for Ayurveda and homeopathy and yoga, right? So that will be that. Last but not least, I'll just want to mention that there is something known as Ayush Research Portal, and in that they have mentioned 29,530 research publications today, आज की तारीख में. So that is the figure of Ayurvedic research happening, right? In yoga it is 1,426. Within Ayurveda, clinical research is 4,065. Preclinical is maximum 14,717. Then drug research is 6,599. Fundamental research is 4,109. So ये basically portal पे आपको ये अलग-अलग research paper दिखाई देते हैं, which tells you what is the level of research going on in Ayush sector. And the overall Ayush sector के जो all branches है, उसके total number is 41,403. And again in Ayurveda, homeopathy, yoga, they have divided this research paper in category A, B, and C. Evidence A, evidence B, evidence C. So evidence A के paper की numbers अलग है, B के अलग है, C के अलग है. If you are doing RCTs, randomized control trial है, और meta analysis है, तो वो सब उसमें है. Then normal बीच वाले में है, and then कुछ case series है, case studies है, तो that will come in evidence C. तो इस प्रकार का काम चालू है. So I think the things are really becoming better, and we should be hopeful. Only thing ये छोड़ना चाहिए कि हाँ आयुर्वेद में standards ही नहीं है. There is a Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia, Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia of India, उसके कई सारे volumes है. So ये जूनी स्टाइल होगी, प्रैक्टिस होगी. हाँ, आयुर्वेदिक ड्रग्स स्टैंडर्डाइज नहीं. अरे there are volumes and volumes of Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia.
Yes, even homeopathy
right?
has
So
pharmacopoeia.
one need to know that. Yeah.
Yes.
All allopathies I've got.
Exactly.
So with that note, I think we can.
तो मुझे लगता है सर, updating each other is most important. Doctors updating themselves from the current situation in their system, as well as Ayush should also help grassroots level practitioners to give updates, because that is also important.
I just want to mention one more line. There is one book with the title Drugs of Hindustan.
Drugs of
Drugs of
Hindustan. Yes, I
Hindustan,
have
Part
heard.
1,
I have
Part
heard
2.
that.
And that is a homeopathic book.
Yes.
And in that homeopathic book, they have used all Ayurvedic drugs. So Ayurvedic people should read that. I have got with my own reference. And
I have not
in
read,
homeopathy, for
but I
example,
have heard.
Nux vomica, you use it for some other indication. We use for other indication.
Yes.
So when you read other texts, then you can reposition Nux vomica, or we call Kuchla or Vishatindu, for other indications. So that
Right.
itself can become a topic for research.
Correct.
So I think, okay, this can go on and on, but I stop
Yes.
here. Thank you once
Yes.
again
So,
for
sir,
calling me. I would like to thanks what is that? Awakening in India
सर, बट
movement.
फर्स्ट
Right
आप
now?
मुझे ये बताइए कि ये सेशन कैसा लगा, ये आइडिया कैसी लगी ऑफ हैविंग डॉक्टर्स डायलॉग?
Idea is excellent. That day you spoke to me. That
Yes.
time only I felt that this is really worthwhile, and this is very commendable work which you are undertaking, and bringing all pathy people together and making them speak out about their pathy.
Exactly.
And then next step would be, I would suggest that you take particular disease and call up 2-3 consultants from different pathy and
Okay.
understand what pathology, what viewpoint that particular disease has, and then what are the best of best medicines that can be also seen. That will be
Very,
something
very good
interesting.
suggestion, sir. I will definitely do it and include it in
Thank you.
my ideas that I keep on doing with this.
Sure.
और मैं आपको ये भी बता दूं कि ये हम लोग क्यूवाइव टीम के साथ कर रहे हैं. ये प्लेटफॉर्म क्यूवाइव नेटवर्क है जो दिल्ली का है, एंड आशुतोष पाठक जी इनके डायरेक्टर हैं, और इन एसोसिएशन विद अवेकन इंडिया मूवमेंट जो मुंबई से शुरू हुई कोविड के टाइम से, और अभी इंडिया भर ये फैली हुई है, जिसे हम मराठी में चळवळ बोलते हैं. So it is something like that. It's just to create awareness, amongst people about different aspects. And I'm part of managing committee of Universal Health Organization also. So I will request you as well as all public कि आप यहाँ पे वेबसाइट पे जाएं, यहाँ पे दी हुई है uho.org.in, और वेबसाइट पे मेंबरशिप फॉर्म भी अभी अवेलेबल है. यू कैन बी पार्ट ऑफ इट एज वेल. And Dr. Phadke, I will request you to refer other doctors also who would come here as guest speaker, और वो अपनी बात यहाँ पे आके रखे. And thank you very much for giving your time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you.
And being on this show. I will tell all to please go to previous sessions as well. तो आप वहाँ पे देख सकते हैं हर एक platform पे. So thank you, sir, and thank you all. We will see you next Friday with some new interesting topic. See you till then. Bye.
भोलानाथ का ब्रश कटर एक बैटरी चालित मशीन है जिसका चार्जिंग समय 3.5 घंटे है. यह 6 से 8 घंटे के प्रभावशाली संचालन समय का दावा करता है, जिससे यह एक बार चार्ज करने पर 16,000 वर्ग फुट गेहूं या चावल के खेतों को कुशलतापूर्वक काट सकता है, जबकि इसका पेट्रोल समकक्ष व्यक्ति उसी कार्य के लिए 1,000 रुपए मूल्य का पेट्रोल खर्च करता है.